Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment you made?
I got some varsity.
Run Ryan.
And everything. You have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one at the go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Simeon, Kristen.
Good night.
Fellas. Yes, man, yes. I mean, we doing it a bit delayed, you know. Due to circumstances, we couldn't come on yesterday as we usually do, you know. But we're here nonetheless, right? And we want to talk about this game yesterday. And I think it's a game that could have been so much more comfortable, fellas. You know, Manchester United always seem to need, or they always see the need to quicken our heart rates earlier. You know, I mean, when you consider how that game starts, you know, so much things that started to go in our favor, and then it ended up, the game had to end how it ended. You know, with us on the back foot, you know, just waiting for the referee to blow the final whistle. You know, but we ended up getting there at the end, you know, and I think it was a much needed win. You know, what we saw would have been, you know, much better aggression on display, much better intensity. But I think we need to repeat those things. We need to beat Brentford and Sunderland for this win to mean anything. You know, I think for the belief within the fan base to grow, you know, the belief within the players to grow, we need to win against Brentford and Sunderland, right? But with all that, you know, we going through at the start of the season and all the criticism that the team under, you know, we're talking about so much different things. You know, this win, you know, has us sitting in 11th place, and we only 3 points off second place. Football crazy earlier. 3 points off second place.
And we play most of the hard sides already too.
But with I mean, yeah, on paper, but with this Man United team, you don't know you again. You know, look, we leave it late to beat who that was.
Burnley.
We leave it late. So
but Liverpool do the same thing too, eh?
True.
And they play against 10 men. So that's how the Premier League is.
Yeah, that's how football is, you know, and as Fergie infamous statement, football bloody hell, you know. So Kristen, Simeon, you know, before we get into it, how things on Ole and Wagwan.
I good for now. Tonight is the final of the CPL, so checking the scores.
And I realized that's why, you know, the attendance and the viewership might be a little sus tonight.
Yeah.
Simeon?
I good. I mean, most of my teams won, you know, this weekend. You know, the football, the American football too, college sports and stuff. So it's kind of a weird feeling tonight. You know, the victory. You know, not having to, but with this team, you know, we have here. You know, it's a lot of things you have to that stay on your mind still. You know. I mean, I look at, you know, I don't know if you want to jump right into it, but as you were saying, like, this team watching them play leaves you with a frustration that you can't shake even after the game, even after you win. The frustration that lingers, and you try and shake it off, but it's like you just you wonder because, like you said, you know, we were had a pretty good start, you know, and you say, boy, you can't mess this up, you know, and you know, within a half, you know, it's just like, you know, we're in trouble. So yeah, that's this team.
Yeah, I agree. We could never do things easy. And you know, sometimes we used to think we being ridiculous with that statement. But you've seen it time and time again how we making hard work of easy things. You've seen decision making. But before we get into all the, before we take a deep dive into the talking points, I always like to start with the team sheets because when the team sheet came out, all the fellas would know, my thoughts on it. I wasn't pleased with the selection, but I want to get your thoughts, Kristen. What you thought about the team sheet when it came out, where you didn't like, what you would appreciate from the manager in terms of, and this is without hindsight. I know it's difficult, but let me try to do it without hindsight, right?
I wasn't pleased with the team sheet, but I mean with Dalo being out, I know Mazrari had to go on that right wing back. So it was between Euro and Maguire to get a pick there. But from the last game when I saw Dillet went on the right centre back in the Man City game, I find he was good. He was if you want Dillet in that right centre back, every time he get a ball, he put in across it. And that is one thing I like from him play, because he does play real solid. But I think that is the reason why Amorim went with him for the right centre back. But as I thought Shaw was to get dropped, but again he had a real good game. And as I say, I was vexed with the starting lineup, but in that first 5 minutes, Mbemo Dogu putting across, Mbemo headed the ball. The next ball came in and Dogu trapped the ball, chance to shoot, and he get the ball take away. And then not even a minute after that, we get a red card. So I guess the starting lineup, it was working. So I can't really say anything other than that.
Yeah. Simeon, what are you saying?
I mean, he ain't lying, but at the same time, this game didn't really get started. I feel like this game, I think, we do normal thing. We come out when we play for 10 minutes and, red card, I feel like, I didn't like the starting lineup. I thought, Euro, I know he had a rough stretch last game, but I find Euro was one of the most progressive players, playing the most hard, that kind of stuff for a team. And playing once a week, I figured he could, I'd rather see him with his pace than see Maguire out there. Nothing bad about Maguire, but just personally. Shaw, after his game, I figured he would get a breather, but he was back out there. And it worked out well, but after 10 minutes is when we really see the game really play out. I feel like if it was 11-11, it would be a different story. I'm glad it worked like it did, but it's too many mistakes on that field. I look at a team, I say who going to make a mistake, and too many fellas that make mistakes on that field. In the starting lineup. I think, I like Dillet. I think he's been playing well. I can't fault him for playing Dillet out there too, but just that, I don't feel Maguire offers, I don't say that much. I don't want to be mean to Maguire because he comes on, he puts in a shift. But for that change to be made, I didn't see the need for it, especially with Shaw still being there. Midfield was this. Who was in midfield? It was Casemiro and
Bruno.
And Bruno.
Yeah,
I was. We keep getting different iterations of this. It normally works for the first 10 minutes. And this is why I say, we didn't really get a chance to see how we work out against Chelsea. But for a while they held their own. They did okay. Casemiro, when he get beat, he do his normal stupidness. Always worrying. Especially in this game, and it come back to bite us. But it worked. So it worked. So so to say. I feel we get away with that one. We line up this weekend. So I'm not, I'm glad Sesko get a start. I feel it was more forced than anything. Ahmad looked better this week in the position that he did last week. So, but I still question that midfield pairing. I guess everyone questions that, but I don't feel this week really showed enough of what we are. I looked more of the play, when it was 10 on 10, and even when 11 on 10, I don't think we showed enough. So it worked this week. I don't know if that's going to be a good lineup, next week going on.
I think you make a real good point in terms of how we usually start games. We start games, real dynamic. We press, energetic, and then what usually happens is then there'll be a drop off. After the opponent settles, and because of how this game went, we didn't really see that until Casemiro got sent off. I guess sometimes you just need luck on your side, everybody. And for time, we have not had luck on our side. Lady Luck wasn't, in weak corner. And when you're in a situation like this, I'm telling you, sometimes you just need the rubber green. And I think that would have worked in our favor. That we would have been able to capitalize while we 11v10, right? And after Casemiro, and we will talk about Casemiro. Then the game kind of normalized. But in terms of the starting lineup, after the City game, where I wasn't pleased with Ahmad on the left 10, to see him go back with Ahmad again, considering you could have played Bruno higher up and you could include Menu after. I thought Menu's cameo against City was excellent. It's like Amr Mohamed questioning, his thought process. And again, too, people go jump and say, well, it work, we win. But really, and that's why I kind of piggybacking on what Simeon say, the game went so much in our favor, where you can't really judge to say, well, okay, we turn our corner, okay, this is what we saw, because they were playing with a man short, and so it's difficult to really assess it like that. But for what it's worth, I think we taking the 3 points, we running with that, and let me hope that this win would really inspire them fellas to and especially on something I know me and Christian was talking about, you see that decision making by goodness. So
I feel that left wing have a spirit on it, because when Rashford rolled on a left wing, you also see them kind of thing. Then Garnacho go on the same kind of, when Garnacho go on the right, he played more sensible and thing. On the left, Ahmad got on the left, and the same kind of football he played in a easy pass to Sesko, he crossed the ball. At that time, Sesko win the and when them play it off on the back and they send a long ball, Sesko chested down, make a good run. I feel he could have get back in memo, but Ahmad was a good pass to, and Ahmad take the ball and turn back and all the Chelsea players. I was real frustrated with it.
Yeah, frustrating watching United play. I'm telling you, especially when we're in front of goal. It's like we're so indecisive, we're so overthinking things that we can't,
but like how we start games good, right? And we just get real chances. I think if we put away those chances, we'll put ourselves in a better position for the game than whatever else is we doing.
Yeah. But again, going back to the point that we discussed in terms of the team sheets, I wasn't overly, especially with the whole Maguire and Shaw inclusion, right? Euro had one, and I wouldn't even say a poor game. He had one game where he wasn't at his best, and he get dropped. While other players, stinking out the joint, and still, I really don't know what governing, the team selections, right? Because I don't believe right now for some players is merit based. You understand? I think it's more what Amorim think that these fellas could offer or play, probably to keep certain players on side versus having the right players or the best suited players for the position. That's just how I see it. but we will see how it goes, right? You don't want to be too critical for over a win, But going into this game, fellas, right? We would have been, and it's something that we talk about, Amorim getting a full week of training, as opposed to Chelsea, who would have had a midweek game. They had to travel, to Germany and get their skin cut, and then come back here, right? Did you all see from the game the benefit of us having a full week training? And with that, we could get into, the different parts of the game, the thoughts on the game and stuff like that. But before that, think on it. Let me just get some comments real quick, fellas, right? So we have Akin Lolu, right? And I ain't gonna even attempt to pronounce your last name, right? But thanks for joining. And you want to know what accent is this? This is Caribbean accent, bro. Caribbean accent, right? Eric on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you. He's saying we got 99 problems, but Chelsea ain't one. You're sure about that? Sure, right? But go through, fellas.
Well, any other team might have said that midweek game had an issue, but Chelsea have a 40-man squad. Them could have spat a whole new team out on the to play with. But yeah, I think the weekend, a whole week extra training would benefit us. I think we probably had to get some games in between, though, like some behind closed doors, and because we need to see them fellas get more chemistry and then with the decision making and stuff like that.
I mean, it's hard to say because I thought that you see some core. What gives me hope, or what at the same time it makes me kind of worry, is that you see some of the core principles of Amorim attacking plan this week. You saw the balls coming in from the wings. You saw a lot of things that Amorim would have talked about, but that's only after, for the most part, it was only after they were down to 10 men. You saw, when Chelsea was down to 10 men, that's when you saw how the system was supposed to work. And even so, we weren't making enough, threatening, crosses or, creating enough chances. So, you saw what it's supposed to do, but we still couldn't, capitalize on the advantage or the type of attack we were making. It's kind of sad because Sesko had like 2 or 3 good crosses in the whole game, even though we were up a man. He hardly got any good service. It's kind of sad. He had one was a little bit high, and you see, oh gosh, but like, even with a man advantage, we still couldn't really get him the ball where he needed. He had one chance, but he got the ball in the middle of the topic box, and he was a little bit unselfish and passed the ball, and I forgot who had the ball. It was Ahmad or somebody else, and it messed up. But like, I feel like the training is not enough, and I almost forgot. I told Karim this. I'm like, Amorim could get fired for the training he does on set pieces defensively. You tell me about a whole week and you can't, then for us just losing men. I mean, you have a sea of blue, and you see like 2 red shirts in between. What kind of marketing is that?
And let me just cut in there, Simeon. And he did say that this week they worked on the boxes, the attacking box and the defensive box. They worked on the boxes, in the boxes, and we still conceded on a set piece. Crazy. Go through.
Yeah, I mean, it depressing. I mean, it really is, because that's been our major Achilles heel, and he can't. Your coaching can't fix it, And you put fellas out there. We have enough defenders. You could put 2 different back trees out there. if you weren't to, I mean, people you have out there can defend set pieces, and then we have, you know, we don't have enough defensive minded players. I mean, Bruno, Bruno, you want to have Bruno in a place where he don't have to do too much defending, because he get lost sometimes, a lot of times, and you don't want that.
I think that goal concede to Euro didn't even attempt to win the header, but you're not supposed to be changing centre back. If you're bringing on a centre back and it's to defend a league, you take off either a striker or midfielder. I think changing a centre back for a centre back is kind of crazy. Where I didn't see why Maguire. If Maguire was there, that header didn't score. Because before Maguire was winning most of the headers, and then he set on Maguire for Euro, and Euro was the player who didn't even jump when Chalobah had the ball and score.
But our next thing, right? Why it is every game, Amorim always have to sub a defender.
Exactly. That's what I said. I don't understand that sub at all. And
but not only that, it's always a like for like sub. It's never a defender for a midfielder or a defender for a striker or a defender for a winger to change up the system or the formation or whatever. We could be winning. We could be losing and chasing a goal. And he will still defender for defender.
That's what I don't understand. Let me be real. If you're defending, right, you would take off Maguire. When you know we cut corners and then why would you take off Maguire? I was like, what was like studying why he do that?
Unless it's an injury thing that we probably don't know about that we're going to hear about, that substitution, I don't know. Because to me, Shaw didn't have a bad game, but you could see he was struggling. We saw Euro play on the left side. Make the change, take off Shaw and leave Maguire and De Ligt on the pitch. Anyway. But for me, guys, that midfield area continues to be a little bit of a concern, right? And after, it almost feels as though, we went route one, and that's when we get the keeper sent off. And it's almost as though every time we try to play through the middle of the park, it's always like we're stretching to control the football. It's always a heavy touch, or somebody had to, make 2-3 steps to even bring the ball under control. And then by that time they control the ball, we're under pressure because Chelsea trying to close we down. So that is scary, because I always consider in this midfield battle, when I saw Casemiro and Bruno in the middle of the park, where the ball retention, and we know Bruno have a tendency of vacating, and it's Casemiro alone you have inside there. So that is always worrying me. And it would seem as though our tactics is really, to forget the midfield and play over the top, because that's all we seem to be doing, right? From the time De Ligt or Maguire or Shaw get a ball, if they're not going to the wing backs, they're going over the top. Very rare we play that ball through the middle of the park. So it's like we don't have a midfield. We don't trust the midfield. So we just going route one. You understand? And for me, that's concerning, because I don't know if you noticed when we get the red card and Chelsea made this set of substitutions, they went and they took off wingers and they just put on midfielders. You understand? Now, hindsight will tell you that probably they should not rush it because Casemiro, get a red card, and if Neto or whoever was still there, it could have caused us some serious problems. But the fact of the matter is they knew that they could have won the midfield battle. You understand? Because we are nothing there. And for me, that is something that, I don't know if we're going to continue playing that route one football, or we're going to even have any, or his system have any, the midfield in his system have any kind of importance. Because it's time and time again, I realize that route one, the hard Mbeumo running, the hard this guy Ahmad chasing, or Cunha chasing, right? And then we'll be a successful for the knockdowns or the link-up play. And let me just throw in this while I hear. I think Sesko doing pretty well. He needs. I think he's doing well, and I think it go click with Sesko, because seeing where we're trying to find him, but the issue of how that is like that's all we're trying to do now. So Sesko there, and it's like the program, each player cross the wall. So instead of trying to mix it up a little bit, play some in the air, play some on the ground, cut back some, all doing is playing it in the air when Sesko there. And that's kind of annoying as well, because it's easy to mark him. He's the only person in the box. The boy is still learning his movement. He's still learning his trade, right? And sometimes not all the crosses, the accuracy on point, So, I mean, it's plenty. I don't know, I don't know if other clubs and their fan base there's be going through this, but in terms of we had to be patient, we had to be this, we had to be that. They're now learning, they're now gelling. But I don't see other clubs, making them kind of excuses now. There's only be hearing them thing with Man United, and that's real frustrating.
But you think Sesko was the correct man to take off when we get a red card?
I want to leave Sesko on. Right?
I find so too, because when they play the ball long, he was winning it, and I didn't agree with this man sub at all. Sesko was having a good game, and he was the man.
About it. And sorry, Kristen, but the thing about it is, Chelsea gonna push up, so it can have real space in behind, right? And we went through that second half with no presence in the box. I don't know. I might even consider taking off Dorgu, because I find Dorgu was real ringing. I think Rich James had Dorgu in his pocket for whole game. You understand? But the question is, if you didn't take off Sesko, Kristen, who you was going to take off?
I was taking off Ahmad.
Probably.
Like, Mbemo was having a real good game too, but when you put him in strike, Mbemo didn't affect the game. Huh?
Yeah, you can't take off Mbeumo.
No, but he put Mbemo to play on top, then I find he wasn't really affecting the game. Even when he bring on Mount, I see that bring on Xerxes or something. Because I find we wasn't winning the ball on top, like they're kicking it long for Mbemo and they lost it, because them fellas didn't really have that aerial advantage over Chelsea. Defender had Toussaint and Chaluba. So I think Sesko would have been better to hold up the ball and thing in that position now.
Yeah, but I also agree with him on sub. Why didn't bring on Xerxes? Because sometimes you want to take the pressure off your team in terms of being able to hold up the ball, win some fouls, kill momentum. And I'm going for these, high energy players. And Mount giving up,
No, but if you look at games where we play men down, play with 10 men, Xerxes was on the field, and Xerxes was one of the man running his life out. He running and attacking everything, and he coming back and defending. Like when we play Arsenal and beat them on penalties, when we play in the FA Cup with a man down, Xerxes, I find, was one of the best players. He was, the time he breathe up Saliba, and he do that by himself. They just send a ball long for him, and he do that. I was waiting for him to come on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Amorim, but Amorim have a serious favoritism thing going on within this team. Trust me when I tell you that. It's serious. You understand? It's serious, because it has certain players, he just like program to keep bringing on, sometimes the substitutions. So, it's like it rehearsed that you just know who he can bring on at some point. He can change us a defender. He gonna take off when Dalot come back, Dalot gonna come on at some point if you don't start. No, but
I think it's based on the formation and system he want to play too, because if he want to bring on certain players, they might be able to play that formation like how he wants to. That's why he making like for like and thing. Because I don't see the other reason why them subs it don't make any sense now.
No, but it hasn't really been working. So I mean, and you bring on Kobe with 5 minutes to go.
And that only because Bruno literally signaled him to the bench fast up,
Yeah, so if Bruno called that, the manager didn't call that.
Yeah,
so I can't even
that's what I said. I was surprised, I was happy because Bruno played real good, but
he did.
If
He
you're
did.
tired, you gotta come off. The team trying to define where one boy stand up, and that was good at him. He called out himself one time.
No, because I mean you needed the energy. You needed to make sure if you could have come, you had to get back so that we don't concede a late goal. You know, let me just get Javid on the inside. He's saying just passing through. He watching TKR. Yeah, man. Where's he score the TKR game, Kristen?
The Guyana had 110 and 2 more overs to go for 6 men out.
Okay.
But that
And
pitch,
what-
like it real spin, like it hard to battle because them fellas struggling.
Okay.
Guyana team, so more than likely we go take the time to.
All right. So one of the biggest, but before I get to that, let me talk about Casemiro. The man doesn't really give you an option when he on the pitch. He in the box. He could score with his head, set pieces. He very, very useful, and he show up with the goal. But then, and you see the thing about it for me, it's not the first time Casemiro do this, boy. I remember it at a game against Crystal Palace. This was under Ten Hag, and we was playing away to Palace. But we had a big game against Arsenal, I think, after. And we just needed Casemiro to not get booked.
Then you want to choke the man?
No, not a game.
Oh.
That game when he choked the player, that was in Old Trafford, but this one was in Selhurst Park.
Oh.
Right? And we just needed Casemiro to not get a yellow. Because we had a big game. I think it was Arsenal. I can't remember who we was playing. And this was on Ten Hag. And this fool do the unnecessary. And what is annoying me with Casemiro is the tackles that has caused him to get suspended and get sent off and thing. There's been needless by. It has been unnecessary.
And be awkward looking, like all kind of way falling down, like why?
No, but they have a thing out for you too, eh? They have a thing out for you too.
Yes and no, because he giving them reason to have thing out for
He giving them reason. He too aggressive. But I was saying they had to take off him by halftime because he got yellow cards early. He will make a mistake again. I expect him to hold up for the half. The man do that right before the halftime.
And I believe, fellas, if we did play out through this game 11v10, I think this game could have finished a lot more comfortably. Then I think we had at least 2 more goals we could have scored. Because you were seeing how we were dominating, how we were creating chances, we were pushing Chelsea back. And I just felt, that if we kept 11 men on the pitch, we could at least get 2 more. And the game then had to end so tense. Right? But again, you're expecting this experienced man, to keep his focus, consider, what going on, and for him to go and do that by.
But you feel that was a card though?
You see, for me, if a man, all right, let me just say he didn't get yellow before, right? If he got yellow for that, people would not argue. But it's because it's a yellow that led to a red that people starting to kind of, So this is saying you can't give a referee a decision to make. And I expect him, sometimes earlier, I know I'm not supposed to be thinking Casemiro proof time and time again that you can't rely on he when he on a yellow. Right? You have to take you off.
No, but why find the referee in real pony prem now? Because they show back videos, right? Where Liverpool was playing Newcastle. Gravenberch on a yellow card and hit a man a skate tackle. He foot a wrap around the man, right? And the referee did not give a second yellow and he gave up and I apologize and thing. Even I watching that game yesterday, Bradley make 8 fouls. Not 8 tackles, like 8 fouls and then they are yellow. And Dewsbury Hall take a free kick quick. You ever hear a man get a yellow card for taking a free kick quick?
Yeah. It's some kind of mafia behind this thing too, eh?
And then 3 minutes, Liverpool on top 3 minutes alone, and we playing Chelsea in 7 minutes. So that's something with them referee them.
But like we said, Tristan, like from the day Casemiro come into the Premier League, he gets a yellow card, he gets a red card. We know Casemiro should know what the deal is. For him to go and do that, get your card stupid twice. And what made it worse is that when you are a man up, you know the other team trying to get back on level with players. You see all the push and stuff that was going on before. You knew they're trying to get somebody else sent off. So he was the only one in yellow, right? Casemiro.
Mhm.
Was he the only one a yellow card in the first half? Had to be.
Yeah.
For you to be the only one on a yellow card, all you have to do is not do anything stupid. And for you to go and make that kind of dumb tackle. I mean, it wasn't like the player was moving like in a dangerous. Yes, he was moving towards goal, but they like two other fellas, behind. You have to do that kind of nonsense. It was always about you, Casemiro. You had to know, as an experienced professional, Champions League winner. I mean, how many trophies does man have? It's just stupid. It's hard to. It's no other way. From the time you come into this league, you get your card and red card. Stupid. You've been signing up that same look every single season. It's 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
That same surprise look. And for the one time where people want to get you off, you still do something stupid and still it's not acceptable. I figure Casemiro have a bookie somewhere, somebody that puts a bet that he get a red card today, and he go collect that money afterwards. Because
I say he was getting red card, like before the game, but I say he gonna get red card, hitting Garnacho Hadja. When Garnacho come on, I say he going to hit Garnacho Hadja and he go get red card. And I say he go do that comment to the end. And the man really gonna get red card. And you see he first tackle for that yellow card? We in Chelsea have unnecessary. He blade that man.
And I understand you want to make it an aggressive game. You want to get about. You come, and I agree to an extent that you're coming into Old Trafford. We're gonna make it hard for you. It's gonna be a physical game, But you have to use your head. You have to know when and where. And this is the problem I have with Casemiro. You understand? This is the problem I have with Casemiro, because Casemiro substitution, Casemiro red card, changed the game. That changed the game. You understand? I think I go say it again. I think this game could have, ended a lot more comfortably, and we might have had more goals on the card.
This should be a game for Sesko to score his first goal.
Well, this is it.
Exactly.
For all that meant to score goals,
No, but if you watch that game, from the way how that game started, Chelsea didn't even touch the ball good in that first 5 minutes with that red card. And so take off all the attacking players because he said he had going to get on 5 and 6 and 9 because Chelsea was playing horrible. So at 10 men now.
Them didn't settle yet.
He expected, at 10 men it will be worse. So he took out that tackle and sent on defenders and then.
And but, and I mean it's sad that everybody in the entire fan base, when they saw Casemiro get that first booking, everybody, because you listen to different podcasts and people were saying, Casemiro is the type of player where there's the first minute, the 90th minute, from the time Casemiro get booked, you have to take him off. Take him off. From the time he get booked, don't matter when in the game, you have to take him off because he will cost you. You understand? Yes,
him.
Yeah, he and it's not only the side tackle, a foolish tackle. He always have a foolish tackle in him, and he'll make it easy for referees to make a decision. They don't do like we already. You understand?
And you know what scared me? As soon as we went on 10 men, Amorim make a change right away. Like this is he didn't make a change right away, and then first then Chelsea started to run.
Now, but I think it only had like 2 more minutes because we was in the added time.
No. In them 2 minutes, how at ease were you in those 2 minutes?
No, I hold it off. I was hoping we hold it off.
I don't trust. I don't have that kind of trust. I don't have that kind of trust in my team because knowing Bruno in that midfield with I don't know who else was in there with him, but that was it was too open. Those 2 minutes.
Yeah. Let me get some comments real quick, guys. Right. Well, we know the comments gonna be slow and few and far between tonight. Everybody on the cricket. Right. So Eric asking, he say you guys worried about Ahmad's selfishness seems to be kicking in and fans are upset about him and the guy. You know, Ahmad under some pressure, I could tell you, because he want to, kind of build on the kind of impact he had last season. And sometimes them fellas just need that goal to kind of kick on. The kind of pressure them fellas will be under and the culture that we have, kind of created within Man United is to stay in the team, you have to score. Now, I don't know if that thing might still be prevailing under Amorim, but players, especially attackers, trying to score to build confidence to stay in the team. Because if you're scoring, then you're useful. So I don't know if that lending to Ahmad playing and overthinking things.
I feel that taking place.
Yeah, because the Ahmad we saw last season was one of our best players, we was relying so heavily on him to make things happen that he want to repeat that so much that he ain't doing the simple things right. Christian talk about the that pass for
Sesko,
yeah. That was, listen, that could have been number 3, and these guys don't understand how much
you see that man
game.
doing bicycle. He doing bicycle, ball coming for cross, and if he did trap that ball and shoot his corner, he looking for spectacular. I find them they get a real back for that kind of. Because if you watch Mbemo is a real nice, simple footballer dog. He running in behind. He know once he strike, I get a header off. He running in. He just play so nice and simple and proper football.
Mbemo have technique.
Yeah.
He have that half volley real good. You understand? You see it against City, and you see it so much times when he was playing for Brentford. Something about Mbemo and that trait he had luck. So I don't know what I'm not making me feel as though I guess he will highlight reels and Instagram and that kind of thing.
But exactly. If you watch Mbemo real is a proper footballer. Even if he has scored assists, Mbemo is still one of the best players on the pitch.
Yeah. Mbemo is one of the best players so far. But
I would say he's the best player.
Yeah, but the second part of the comment here. What's your thoughts on that? Well, I kind of think I know, but go through.
Well, them fellas was friends from any club, so but I find the times change. Like how Kane and them just be talking about they wasn't to shake hands and rivalry come and man getting yellow card. I think the football not like that anymore now. With social media and thing, rivals will be partners and thing. They just play for the different team. But at the end of the day, you're not supposed to do that, in my opinion. Because even when you look at the warming up and thing Euro, I see Garnacho Pauti and Euro him take him on, 2 of them crash shoulders, Kobe give him a hug up arms, Luxie give him a thing, but at the end of the day, you're playing a football match, do them things behind doors and things. That's all I have to say.
I mean, I think I'm not taught because we win the game, he was safe. But you need to read the room. I mean, Garnacho got booed, not many returning players get booed at, Old Trafford. So you have to know the fans ain't feeling Garnacho. Your own coach, all the bad things all the negative things he had on all these other, the Rashford. I mean, he didn't go as far as to tell Rashford to get he butt out to Old Trafford. I think something was, there was something deep, against Garnacho with his team, and in this organization. So for you to post that on your Instagram story or feed or whatever, he ain't thinking, he ain't reading the room right. You know, I mean, dicey buddy. I mean, but at the same time, you know, that could be a buddy, but y'all keep that to yourself. Nobody wants to see that. You know, especially being man at his, you know, that is his dream club. I don't know what you say about Chelsea, if that's the place you really want to be. But let him be at Chelsea, you know, and enjoy yourself. We have enough work to do at United to be worrying about, you know, Garnacho and his antics. So I'm bothered that he didn't have the read the room right when he posted that. And then, you know, it kind of brings you back to the whole, you know, how much, you know, all the rumors about it not being, you know, a great, you know, team environment and all the stuff, you know. You wonder how close knit these fellas are as far as being at Manchester United and wanting to be here, you know, truly. So it's a lot
I
of things.
saw reports Garnacho thought he was going to get a hero's welcome, you know. As in, all I saw that? And he was kind of upset how the fans was booing him and thing.
He could be. He always upset for some. No, listen, Garnacho could rock so yes.
Yeah, exactly. You go on the arrival in the same league and you expect people to be cheering you, and you have to be mad.
But I really do agree that Ahmad, them fellas and them, I mean, all his friends, and all be friends. We're not saying be enemies, you know, and we are saying, you know, go back to when Keane and them was playing and fist fight in the tunnel. We're not saying do that. But you have to recognize, yeah, you know, but you have to recognize at the same time, you know, the circumstances under which Garnacho left the club, right? We ain't talking about how, you know, perhaps Hoyland would have left the club. Hoyland was very respectful, you know. I don't think the fan base would have had an issue if after the game you swap jerseys with Hoyland. Hoyland didn't disrespect the club. Hoyland didn't leave under, you know, negative circumstances. So I think Ahmad and them fellas and them, the youth and the immaturity, just it's showing. Because what was the point of that picture and post? What was the point of what did you try to achieve in doing that? Because you had to eventually come and delete the post because, you know, of the backlash. Come on, man. Sometimes when things going real hard for a player, is the fans just push you over the line sometimes, so you need the fans on side. You will go and do that kind of thing to get for the fans to want to turn on you. From the minute you start to your form drop, they're ready to kick you out of the club. Come on, Ahmad. You had to do better than that. You had to do better than that. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody's saying don't be the man friend. But again, Simeon, you say, read the room. Come on, man. Take a look at it. No, but Bruno hugged the man after, and that was the end of that. I didn't see Bruno swapping no jerseys.
No, but Bruno posted up Rashford goal and what a goal and kind of mad thing.
But again, right? Rashford left under the same circumstances like Garnacho. I don't think so.
No, he didn't.
So for me, in that regard, I don't see no issue with how, you know, he posts up Rashford. I don't see an issue with that. But I think Garnacho specifically, especially if Barca would come here and play and you see Bruno post a picture with he and Rashford switching jerseys, then I think we might have, you know, but that's the circumstances different. So I think Ahmad had to do better. Ahmad had to do better. I ain't gonna lie and tell you that. Your performance is not 100 and you're doing that kind of rubbish. You're looking for the backlash, brother. You're calling for it. Mickey on the inside, good night, man. He's saying, awesome game. We saw the fight in the guys. Bad night for this. Curry chicken versus chicken curry. James Scott on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He says, so I'm thinking confidence building isn't only hinge on scoring, but also making sure you create goals for other players more often than not. And I agree. So then why Ahmad not passing the ball, why the simple passes, you know. Men forgetting that when goals start pouring in, more spaces show up among the conceding team. Exactly. That's what football is. So creating the team for the team creates for yourself eventually. Exactly. Well said. Well said.
No, but the decision making real poker with half time too. Bruno get the ball right, and Ahmad was the correct pass. Ahmad would have just shoot and score. He tried to get Sesko, but I mean with 2-0 up, I would have take that then. But as I said, the decision making of these fellas real bad. You just see it. It's horrible.
I'll tell you something, Kristen. That pass from Bruno, I don't think it was a bad pass, huh?
No, but it didn't reach a score. It didn't reach a score.
Yeah. Sesko touch was bad. Sesko touch was bad.
Oh.
Because it was after the game or before the game, Bruno had an interview and I think it was before the game, and he was talking about some of the players that he developed a real good relationship on the pitch with. And three of the names he called was Martial, Ronaldo, and Pogba, and Mata, right? So it's funny.
Yeah, man. Pogba.
And those kind of players in those kind of intricate, tight spaces, they taking the ball better. I think if Sesko first touch was better, that was a one touch and shoot and score. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're playing with players of the caliber of Ronaldo, Pogba, Mata, Martial, in those kind of tight spaces, you get Martial that day, you get Pogba, you get Ronaldo that day, them fellas taking it and scoring. So I think the pass wasn't a bad pass. The easier pass
was
Ahmad, right? But the pass wasn't a bad pass. I think Sesko first touch let him down. You know? Because if Sesko would take that better and score with that, be whoa, ball by Bruno boy, you know?
No, but I get vexed because I was like that. Ahmad Righty open. He had to trap it. He had to turn up boy, let's just shoot now. So
you know, that's another thing. Like we get so many guys in spots like that where your confidence in that, you know, that small, you know, the Premier League has become so much about that. You're able to take a ball in the box, tightly marked, with the right touch to give yourself a little space, or another touch to, you know, get away from a slide tackling. And you see the teams that I watching this striker for Liverpool, not Isaac, Ekitike. That man touched in the box. It's just a block. I mean, and he quality and he finishing like with ease, simplicity. Just it's like you know, just reflex. And you see that kind of quality, and that is what the top strikers give you. That is the difference between, you know, scoring 3 goals, comfortable, and struggling and fighting up for a whole game, you know, to get 3 points. And you see the teams that have these players, you know, the Liverpool, I don't know, they have 2. I think Isaac could do that too, but you know, I don't know if Gyökeres could do that. I didn't really see that kind of touch from him. You know, I forget who else. You know, Chelsea have some good strikers too.
João Pedro.
Even what's the guy's name? The lab looked decent when he played. I don't know he was that good before he got injured. But you see, you know, and it's like, you look at Sesko. He have a nice touch, but I don't think it's refined to play. If refined enough to be effective right now, as he needs to be. He could get there. His touch ain't bad at all. You know, it ain't bad at all. He might could play. But to be a top striker, you need that kind of control. You know, you see it more with Mbeumo. You see that touch more with, you know, Konya and fellas. You know, Ahmad, he had the ability, but he lacked. You don't see the end product. You don't see the you know, decision making. You know, I just feel like I don't know what he's waiting on. But he's still there, you know, and that's what troubles us for this team. We have players that can play, but in those spots, those, you know, that final third, we lack that kind of quality. And you know, and for me, it's like I look at this team and it's like what the owners have been saying and what Amram has been saying, I wonder if this team is built to win now. And that's my whole thing with this team. I feel like they've been telling us something and we didn't want to listen. Oh, this team gonna win, be a winning team in 2020. Was it 27 or
2018.
28? Yeah, whatever. Like I feel like I look at this team. I'm like, they didn't really build this team to win now. There are some players who are just stopgaps in the team until we find. I feel like this is a stopgap team with just enough players to get us to to Europe. I wonder. I look at the midfield like why Kobe isn't playing. He should be the guy for the future, but I don't think that this midfield ready for Kobe. I think he needs somebody else to play with. I feel like I'm reaching a little bit, but the kind of nonsense this team doing, I feel like we ain't trying to win right now. The goalkeeper we get. I watched Donnarumma today. Yeah, he get chipped. Martinelli had a good finish today, but that man control. You play Arsenal, you need a Donnarumma in your goal. And we ain't get that kind of keeper. We get a young keeper. I feel like we're trying to be okay now and make enough, just do enough to get to Europe while other teams trying to win. When you play in a Premier League with quality teams, it'll always work out like that.
That's a very good point.
But I think the Premier League are real competitive now. 2-0, I think, is not a good lead enough.
No.
It's not. You watching how much teams coming back from being 2-0 down and thing. 2-0 is not a good lead in the Prem anymore.
Yeah.
And we're struggling to score.
Yeah. That's an interesting point, Simeon. I ain't want to add too much to it to get lost. Akira on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying Amar is not a 10. We need to get service to Sesko. Amarim saying not even the Pope can make him change his system. Right? What's frustrating is preseason we were fluid and looking good. And now, I don't know now.
What do you think is Amar's best position?
I think he's right wing back. But right now, Mars looking so good. Mars looking so good the other way. But I still think that Amar and Mbeumo was giving us a real nice interchange, But I figure because Amram want to cross the ball into the box so much more, that's why he opted for Maz, because Maz is a more natural right footer, so you'll get the balls going into the box as opposed to Amar who had a cut back on his right to swing it in, just like what you'll get from Mbeumo. So I don't know, but I just feel because even later in the game when you see Amar went on the right hand side, the right wing back, Amar was looking so much more comfortable now.
Yeah, he looked better.
Yeah, things started to just look more natural for him. Now he was making better decisions, stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if the fact that Cunha come back now would possibly mean that he'll go back there, but then Mars doing so well, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I want to talk about, this whole thing that's going on within the fan base and the media and Amorim that he had to keep defending the system, this, that, the other. But I guess we could leave that for the next part, right? Because I want to see what will happen against Brentford, before we talk about this system versus players versus what is the real issue, And as Akira had said just now, the man said, go and change if the Pope tell him, right? So we go see. But fellas, I want to get a positive that we could take away from the game, and negative that's no idea about the game today.
The negative go to be Casemiro red card, because I don't think they're going to I don't think they could get a check or anything. So he will miss that game for sure.
No. It was 2 yellows. So he
Yeah,
he
so
got the next game.
yeah. So he got miss a game. He got miss, and I find with him and
No,
Bruno, he's look better.
I don't think he missing anything in Pakistan.
And when they got red, 2 yellow, he missed one game.
No,
2 yellow, and he missed one game.
No, he has missed the game that you're playing.
No, yeah, he missing the next game. If I get straight red, it's 3. If I get 2 yellow and a red, I 1 game. So he missing the next game. Yeah.
Somebody in the comment section, the one person not watching, click up. All right.
I think from FIFA, I think that's how it is. Well, the positive, I would say, Sesko. I find Sesko starting to look better, starting to commentate. And, well, Konya and Mount back. So, I think Licha and all starting to train on grass. I think he will be another big one back. So, we supposed to only get better, right?
Yeah. Simeon? I think Simeon internet probably getting him some trouble. For me,
I'm back here.
Okay, yeah, go through.
I agree. I think Sesko, the positive. I mean, I think, you worry about him getting, the right kind of service, the right kind of balls, but he looked dangerous when he got a chance. His hold-up plays been good. His touch has been decent. Negative, I feel like we still find ways to lose games in winning positions, the Casemiro stuff, and just the defending on set pieces. I mean, we still weak on that. Let me say this. Another positive. Bayandere had some good saves and some good punch outs on corners and stuff under pressure. So that was good too. But this team still struggles, against 10 men. I mean, they scored 2 goals. I mean, they scored 2 goals. I can't, I want to be too negative, but the system really play a part. They still struggle to execute and score goals in the way they're supposed to be playing. So that's the worrying part.
Yeah. For me, the negative for me, it could be the substitutions, right? I think Amorim had to do better in terms of, actually trying to change something as opposed to just being, you're so stubborn, in how you're bringing on players and who you're bringing on, that you don't want to be versatile, you don't want to be dynamic in terms of trying something different. Because I wondering if, and I mean, again, it didn't work for Chelsea. Don't miss my point. The point is, we credit our manager for trying something different. I look at Chelsea when they got the keeper sent off. He took off he 2 wingers and he shoved the middle. Amorim go do that? Amorim go just take off one player and bring on a next defender, or he would just change a defender and bring on a next defender. Some kind of thing he would do, so he wouldn't show us that he's flexible in terms of his tactics and and plan. And for me, that is a big red flag. It's a negative as far as I'm concerned. The substitutions they brought on did not really help the game. You understand? Apart from Cunha, you take long to bring on Menu to kind of show up the game. You bring on Mount, and Mount didn't do nothing for us. What was the purpose for Mount? And you take off Maguire. So, and when you take off Maguire, you bring on our next defender. So for me, the negatives is Amorim in game management. I was not impressed yesterday, right? And I think he really had to do something, boy, because you keep saying it. Anyway, we are going to that system talk probably next part, right? The positive for me, right, is continually Mbumo. Right? You see Mbumo, boy, that one is a joy to watch, but the man is a threat. You understand? The man touches it immaculate, right? The man the man don't even look so quick earlier, but the man quick. The man quick. And I guess want the man to just start to bag, but I just want the man to start to bag goals, but I just want to start to score, regular like how we used to be scoring for Brentford, boy. And again, we go click, and you see Cunha and Mbumo and Sesko them fellas go just start to score. We go click. But Mbumo, boy, I hear men saying that before you come in, Christian, I hear men saying, the question why we went for 2 10s. So obviously, remember I say we signed Cunha first. So we didn't need to go for Mbumo. But all you watch and see who's the most influential player on the field every single game. No. Mbumo, big player.
Mbumo, the closest thing to Salah.
Right, and I mean, the only thing he's missing right now is goals and assists, but the man game overall top. We'll just get these 2 comments here real quick. Kira saying here 2 yellows, missed 1 match, so that means Casemiro won't be available for the Brentford game. All right, thanks for that. All right. He also saying here positive and Mbumo, good performance. Agree with Kareem. Subs are just like for like and not tactical, offering almost 0 impact. Correct. I'm reminded to do better than that, man.
That's one thing we said, when we wanted a new coach. We we wanted a guy who, not just a system. We wanted a coach. We be saying this. We had Ali, we had Ten Hag, but you want a guy who could look at the game and say, "Hey, this ain't working." And even Amram said, in a system there are very many variations of a system, but we ain't seen any. It's like. Even he can't show us anything else in the system. So, any day you gotta show us something like a coach. And we ain't seeing that.
Correct. So guys, as we look to wrap up, right? Just want to talk about 2 things before we wrap up. Who's all the player of the match for the game? Player of the match. Who all again that too?
I would say Mbemo, but he came off, so I'll say Delete. I find Delete was the best player.
I agree with you on Delete. I think Delete's not a bad show. What are you saying, Simeon?
I agree. I mean, Delete and Mbumo. I think Delete, like for some, I thought, Chelsea's front line would have been a little bit too mobile for him, but he got around the field pretty well. I mean, he roughed the fellas up pretty good. Lots of key tackles. So Delete.
Yeah.
But Delete is our next one who does look slow but quick, eh?
My only thing with Delete is sometimes them fellas on them is be too rash, and there's panic. Right, and that is my thing with them fellas on them.
They get pressure.
Yeah, Delete has been good. He has been solid. Again, Jackie Jacket, but he's not one of my. I'm not a big fan. I'm just saying, right? I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
Right.
He plays City and they start to press. He start to worry. He start to sweat.
Yeah. Guys, we want to look forward. We want to look ahead. And Brentford is our away fixture. Apart from the fact that we know Casemiro not going to be there, what changes will you make to the starting 11 from the one that would have started against Chelsea yesterday? And score prediction. Christian?
Well, Cunha come back in for sure. So, who going to get dropped there by Ahmad? And I'll play Kobe with I feel like I'll be Ogate, Bruno, in the midfield. And I would put Euro left centre back, Delete centre back, and Mazraoui right centre back, Ahmad right wing back. But if we being real, Amorim might go back to with Mount back and Cunha back, he go back to the same starting 11 that he played in the first two games. And I think with Casemiro being out, they go, let's be Ugarte is the difference.
All right. And where's the score prediction?
As hoping for a win, 3-1, 3-0, somewhere around there.
We can concede. We can concede. Simeon, what you saying?
Yeah, I mean, actually, that 3-1 score. I mean, we didn't win a back. How long we win a? We finally start getting wins together if we could. It has to be time. I mean, it has to be time. We get a nice victory. I mean, if I was Amorim, I would put Ahmad at right wing back, Batshuayi back there, Delete, trying to show a rest. I'll put my most attacking side out there. I think as Kareem has been saying, we need to take the game to these fellas, these teams, and try and win the game, right off the bat. I mean, I feel like we need to try and put some balls in the back of the net and stop holding back, so to say. I think Sesko should just start play Cunha and Mbeumo right off the bat and just go for it. I think it's time we spend all this money. We need to score goals. We can't keep playing this, kind of cagey. We go hit that long ball here. And what happens is we try, and we get hit one counter attack and we're behind, and we spend the rest of the game trying to catch back up. So I think we need to put the pressure on, have more attacking players on the field, and try and score goals from the start. Don't wait till they're behind. From the start, let's go. But knowing Amorim, he probably ain't gonna do that, But I think by next game, Cunha should be more healthier to go, and we should go for it. I really believe it's time to go for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko. I want to see the $200+ million strike force that we buy. I want to see them finally starting. We need to get them fellas on them. I mean, I know I trashed it earlier, but we need to get them fellas as much time on in-game situations as possible for those relationships to develop. So I want to see that front three starting. We know at some point, Sesko might come off for Mount and Cunha will go in the middle. And, them kind of same program subs go happen because it's Amorim, right? And then he go take off our defender to put on the next defender and so forth and so on. We know that we know the drill. And when there's 2 minutes to go, he will bring on Kobe, right? That kind of BS now. But, and I do agree that as long as Bruno playing in the midfield, he will go with a more defensive-minded partner. So Kobe ain't gonna start, right? The most I could hope for is that we seal the game early enough where Amorim might feel comfortable to bring on Kobe and even Xerxes, because I think that these players are being, overlooked, and these fellas add so much quality to the team, and it's weird,
I mean, yeah, those players were key players at certain times last season. I mean, they came through when things were down. Kobe came on and scored against what's that? The French team or the Spanish team? Was it Leon?
Leon.
Yeah. So Kobe has shown he could make it, and Xerxes was the best player for a few games. So I mean, last season. So I don't know
Yeah.
why you don't think they need time
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
pitch.
you want to get them 2 minutes and 3 minutes and expect them to come and work magic? Crazy, man.
No, but that the thing too. How we only playing one time for the week. Man, him had to get rest because this whole week they rested. That is one of the reasons Hoyland left for now. Because Hoyland was looking to fight for his spot, right? And where we get knocked out of the League Cup. That is 6 games he lost. He don't know what he was done short of getting game time and it get cut short even less. He was like, alright, he had to leave. It don't make sense.
I don't think it was up to here.
No, I mean he so see time get cut short there too with that. Because as I said, the whole week they play them fellas go get rest. This man might start the same thing every week.
I mean, he under pressure to get results, and he have to play his 200 plus million front line,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, the thing about it is, I don't think that's the issue, you know, necessarily. You know, it's just when you're subbing players, you know, in game situations, these guys there to help the team and to give you a certain level of tactical flexibility. But when you keep doing the whole like for like rubbish, you're wasting talent, you know. So yeah. Kira saying here, good part. Everybody watching cricket, so that's why the numbers low tonight. Yeah. We need to win that next game. Glory, Man United. Yeah, I think guys, I think that is a good way to wrap it tonight. You know, we need to win that game. And as I said before in my opening remarks, for this win here, you know, to mean anything, we had to win against Brentford, and then we had to win against Sunderland. You know, and those 2 games, I mean, Brentford coming off a 3-1 loss away to Fulham, you know, so we know sometimes it's not always the best time to play them kind of teams, but you also don't want to be playing a team that, you know, confidence high now. So it's like you're kind of in the middle, you know, you don't know what kind of team will show up. So, yeah.
Before we go, one thing I want to say, you realize social media was quiet this week.
Of course.
Them Chelsea men was quiet. You know, we as Spanish fans know we can't get too happy, so we quiet too. And them haters was quiet, so they can really laugh at we that much, you know, this week. So it was quiet, a quiet week in comparison on social media. So it was a good weekend.
Yeah, quite week was a good week first, man. Quite week was a good week until we reached the point where we could be making noise during the week. You know, knowing
One
that.
tick here win today, go BRL good week. Hey, but one more question, man. What if you win in that ball, though? Because I saw a post there, they said PSG not attending. So that means more than likely, Dembele, they don't say that he not winning it. What if think winning it?
If I'm honest with you, I'm not really paying much attention to that. I find that get watered down over the years, so I don't pay no interest in the Ballon d'Or for quite some time now. But where's your take?
Now, well, I see PSG say they're not attending, more than likely Dembele not winning it. I think he should have won it. Saying that PSG had such a good season and he numbers was good, but if they give Yamal, that's craziness.
Yeah, who, Yamal?
Yeah, that's crazy. If he win it.
You know, these kind of awards is always be, you know, more image than anything else, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, we hoping I'll see it, but I just find out that
crazy
is correct.
Anyway, guys, so it was nice, fellas. It was nice. I mean, limited interaction, but we still get some interaction in the comment section nonetheless. But we know why. You know, we know it's because, you know, chicken curry versus curry chicken take a little bit of the front seat, but it's a small thing. You know, so Kristen, I know you in the cricket as well, but thanks for coming on nonetheless. Simeon, as always, you know, we here, win, lose or draw, we always here, you know. And those in the comments, those who were here present with me and, you know, still supporting and watching the cricket at this side, we do appreciate it as always. You know, so guys, that brings us to the end of the pod. You know, so see you on the next one. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, fellas.